Perfect.
I thought I had a lot of hot air. What I have today you're going to help me with here is a super packed buck and bronco stew. It is low calorie, high in protein, low in sodium, low in fat that any athlete can eat. Something that you two definitely having to stay in shape, and all that you do gives you a lot of energy. So I'm going to have you help me here. I kind of have some of it done. Do you like to cook?
Love it.
Do you?
Yes.
What's your favorite thing to cook?
I know it's super simple, but it's a childhood favorite of mine.
What
and
is
it's
that?
Grilled cheese and tomato soup.
Is that your favorite?
Yes.
Do you put like 1 or 2 pieces of cheese?
I use a block of cheese, and I just cut slices of the block and place them on the bread. Yeah.
We're going to play a fun food game now because, as you know, Super Bowl is all about, well, football and a lot of food. We're going to play a game. We have Moss and Brian. You see them on our show. And today, Moss, when you have the correct answer, you're going to ring the 9 News cowbell. There it is. Nice glasses. Brian, you're going to get the easy button.
That figures.
Okay. Why? Don't you like the easy button?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry.
Whatever. 2 out of 3, you guys win. You love the easy
2
button.
out of 3.
Okay. True or false? The United States sees Super Bowl Sunday 3rd in food consumption behind Thanksgiving. True or false?
That was easy.
Yes?
True. False.
False. How did you? It is false. It is false. We come in 2nd behind Thanksgiving, folks. All this makes for an, I'm going to say this, excellent meal. Here clucking around on our set, we have Matt Matarazzo and also Lauren Greer. Did you have to have the Italian came out in me?
Hey,
Matarazzo. Hey,
Very
yes.
well done. Very
Okay,
well done.
you've heard this, but I have been so excited to showcase your product. Being a farm girl, I understand the benefits of an open pasture, the hens being taken care of.
Yes.
So, and you're at, I love seeing this, King Supers and City Mark. So your approach to the hen really sets you apart. So in your own words, share that philosophy.
Well, at the Happy Egg Company, we're meeting this growing demand.
Social justice issues, the bigger ones, the smaller ones, are just as common in Colorado as anywhere else.
Right.
We are not isolated. You have to make those tough decisions when those are brought to your table, and you have to deal with those locally as well.
Sure. I mean, the reality is, well, it helps to have an undergirding value system in this city that says everyone matters.
Now, how did you find Bead for Life?
Bead for Life, I found it in the hospital. I'm HIV positive, and my group is a group of women living with HIV, and it came to our hospital.
And now you're Bead for Life, a businesswoman?
Yes, my Bead for Life was my turning point because for me when I had no job, but after joining it, I started business very fast. My children went to school. My daughter is at the university.
Yay, that's
I'm
great.
very happy because of Bead for Life. I really appreciate their work.
Teddy, what about you? You have, how many businesses do you own?
I have 4 businesses.
4?
Yes.
And Bead for Life helped you with that?
It helped me to start my 4 businesses.
It's just fantastic. And of course you gave me pink because, like, I'm not pink enough today. Your eyeballs upside down. What? Well, that's how my life is, and we're leaving it. And it's daylight saving time. I'm telling you.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, you said you can make them anyway.
Being with this, there's a lot of challenges.
Yes.
I mean, we think every day, probably the walking, the running, the exercising, but for you, it was a bit different because you had to tackle the bullying.
Yeah, I did, and it was something hard to get over, but I just learned to embrace it and then kind of throw it back in their faces and say, like, look, I can have fun with it and it doesn't bother me.
So the bullying part came, you said, when you wore shorts and flip-flops.
Yeah.
Because they noticed that you were different.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
And bullying meaning the typical teasing and...
Yeah, the names, the jokes, but then, I kind of looked at it like, okay, so if you can joke about it, then maybe I should joke about it. And so ever since then, I've joked about it, and I come up with crazy new ideas about my leg now and what it used to be. And I mean, I just learned to embrace it. So.
Exactly. And at the time, though, that hurts.
Yeah,
And then
it
you
hurt.
learn how to take those obstacles and turn them into victories. And your family, Deb, has been so supportive along the way. I mean, you are a fun family. You work together on this. Feeling as a mom, I mean, that's hard for you, too, going through all this and seeing your baby in surgeries and the bullying part of it. But you've overcome this.
We have overcome it, and we do have an amazing, supportive family.
Okay, it's time to bring in the bat wings. Come on, come on. No, we like you, Bat. Stay here. Yay! You know, they're so long and lean, and their nose, but that's because it's the design for how they run.
Yeah, it's aerodynamics, yes.
And I also, before I forget, their tails. This is something else I learned. If you feel their tail, it feels like cords. Explain the importance of the tail.
The tail is used as a rudder in their racing.
I'm just so glad that you're reaching out to do this. I had no idea, because it even comes into play. We had the floods, but then we have to think ahead to wildfires. What do we need to know there? Is it implemented the same way?
It's similar.
We were discussing this before the show. How do you go from losing the first few pounds and inches to then, I mean, it's an extreme thing to then go and be a fitness champion.
Absolutely.
Is it?
Honestly, I think it's just that sheer motivation. Once, you know, my whole life I was overweight, and I missed out on so much. I couldn't play sports, and I couldn't run down the street, and I couldn't do these things. And the more that I figured out, oh my gosh, I can do an amateur boxing match, or I can run a half marathon, or whatever, then I just wanted more and more and more. It was so exciting.
It's so kind of a new experience, and that you didn't have before, where it's new challenges in your life that you never got to have those goals before.
Absolutely.
Do you ever eat a cheeseburger?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Every Saturday night, my husband and I go to a treat meal.
So you have a fun day?
Absolutely. Not a whole day.
Okay, fun meal.
Yes.
Our next guest is going to provide some real-life answers. Leon Worth is first and foremost husband and a father of 8 girls, as well as the executive director of parenting and youth for Focus on the Family. How do you do it?
You know what? We just live life. I get asked that question a lot, and it's funny because, you know, when you're kind of in the midst of living life as a large family, you just you get your ways of doing things, and you just kind of do it. So yeah.
I think of one girl like me, and I get a headache. So, you know, we're starting out on a serious topic. There's been a lot of tragedy, it just seems, even over the last year. We have these shootings. We were affected here in Colorado. Parents, it's tough being a parent. Families are, they're dwindling as a whole. What can we do? Where do we start?
Well, you know, our mission is to help families thrive, and we often get asked the question, well, what do you mean by thriving? Because that almost sounds too good to be true, you know.
This place is spectacular. Thanks for staying around, for rushing around during this primetime edition of Colorado and Company. I'm Tawnya Rush, and I've got my overalls on because I've been checking under the hoods and checking things out. And maybe we have some new viewers and are saying, what's rushing around? Well, it's usually on Fridays, and I let you know some of the fun events that are coming up and things just taking place around Denver, and I couldn't help but pass up rushing around this area. It is spectacular. You know, the Denver Auto Show, as you've probably been seeing, it's not just about looking at cars. There are a lot of fun things for the family and different activities, such as a whole area that is just for you and your family to ride and drive. Put it into high gear and go behind the wheel and see what it's like to drive some of the biggest names on the show floor. Wow! My gosh, this Denver Auto Show is huge. I gotta take a rest here. And while you're resting after looking at all these beautiful cars, buckle up, hold on tight. It's all about Camp Jeep. And I saw you guys at the Parker Days, the camaraderie and the brotherhood that you're encouraging everybody. I was so taken by that. I thought that was the neatest thing. Okay, I have to ask, how many calories a day?
I'd probably say 7,000.
I wish I could do that. Oh, 7,000. Your height and weight?
6'6", 350.
Okay, calories.
I'm closer to 10,000 a day, so I probably have to eat the most.
Height and weight?
And I'm 6'8" and about 410 pounds. So.
And you, sir?
I've probably taken about 6,000 to 8,000 calories a day.
and then I'm 6 foot at 380 or 285.
Okay, now I have to ask you guys, when I was there, I understand that when you see you guys, you understand your strength, but what shocked me, some guys there look like marathon runners, and they're doing things that are 2 to 3 times their weight. How is that possible? Is it a lot of mental?
Yeah, there's a ton of mental, like, just believing you can do something, really, you know, because you see these huge weights, and, you know, if you go to a gym and, like, you know, for example, like this dumbbell's 200 pounds, like most normal gyms go to maybe 150, but yet we're pressing that over our head. So you kind of walk up to it and you just have to believe you can do it. You know, I mean, that's really, you know, if you can't get over that mental barrier and you're always worried about it, you're never going to be able to reach your full potential.
You know, they were lifting, what's the ball that's lifting? That was out of this world. Okay, I want to see you guys in action. You said 200 pounds here?
200 pounds, and Mike's going to lift that.
You're going to do that? Yep. All right.
Here we go.
I just can't. And you guys are getting ready for some big competitions too.
Yeah.
So don't hurt yourself. Look at.
So just a one-hand press overhead with this.
And then it's timed, right? How many you can do in so much time in competition?
Exactly. So that would be 1 rep. Yeah.
Now that one. Who's doing that one?
So
Tyler?
this is about 300 pounds, and this is just a steel log, is what it's called. So
it's just a steel log.
Well, right, yeah.
Yes.
Make it sound simple.
No, it's not. Look at that.
So he's going to press this overhead.
Oh my, I can't even imagine.
And stabilize that. There you go. Good stuff.
Oh. Now as we close quickly, we're out of time. Upcoming competitions.
World's Strongest Man in 5 weeks in San Diego,
Yes!
Yep.
What about you, sir?
Same. I'll be there.
Yes! On I watched you guys on ESPN, and for you.
I have nationals for North American Strongman in October.
Before we go, lift me up.
Okay. Whoa.
I get serious about this stuff. Isn't that some one hand? You guys are awesome. Best of luck to everything. We'll be right back. Keep going.